Welcome back to the Thrive Over 45 podcast with me, your host, nutritionist Stacey Nicole Smith. And this is a space where we talk all things weight loss and wellness for the woman over 45 or the woman struggling to lose weight in peri or menopause and just looking for overall health and vitality. Today we are talking about something that is quite common, and this was a requested topic, and that is how to get through a weight loss plateau. Now, if you've ever been on a weight loss journey, I am quite certain you've hit a weight loss plateau. It's very common. And what that basically means is, you're going along, you're following a plan, you're losing weight, you're feeling amazing. And then even though you feel like you didn't change anything, suddenly out of nowhere, your weight loss stalls. It stalls out. And so now you think it's not working. And typically, we either want to give up or we think, well, this wasn't working, so we want to find the next shiny object, magic pill, magic diet plan, right? This is common. But I'm going to discuss today how to get through that plateau without having to overhaul your entire life or switch to something entirely different. Cool? Now, for the sake of explanation, if you have been following me for any length of time, you know I don't believe in counting calories, and I don't believe in the calorie count of a food being the end-all be-all measure for weight loss. I believe in the reaction a food has within our body for what is most effective for weight loss. But for the sake of explanation today, we are going to use the term calories because it's something that everybody understands. So let's pretend you are starting your weight loss journey. So prior to your weight loss journey, maybe you were eating 23 to 2,500 calories a day. So you start your weight loss journey and you decrease that. So now you've been eating, let's say, 1,800 calories a day. And you've been doing that for some time and you're humming along and you're losing weight and you're feeling amazing. And then without really seeming that anything changed, your weight loss stalls out. It plateaus. So you think it's not working anymore. However, there are two of the most common reasons this could happen. Number one is something called metabolic adaptation. What this means is it's a survival mechanism. So your body, in an effort to protect you, to help you survive, is going to decrease the amount of calories it's burning off for you to match the amount that you're intaking. So if your body has now decreased its burning off amount to 1,800 calories, the amount you're eating, because it wants you to survive. But it's great for survival and not so great for weight loss. So how do we work around this? Now, we're going to get into that. But the second reason that we tend to plateau with weight loss is we get comfortable. We get comfortable with what we're doing. And even though we think we're doing everything the same, a lot of times we're not. So I'm going to give you the solution to both today. Now, metabolic adaptation. Our body is decreasing the amount it's burning off to match the amount that we're eating. How do we get through this? There's some tricks of the trade here, and I always recommend being consistent over extreme. I try to break people out of that extreme all or nothing mindset. So we don't want to do anything extreme, but we do want to make little minor adjustments. So if your body is staying, even though you think you're doing everything right, there's little things we can do. We want to change it up a little bit. Now, there's something called the thermic effect of foods. So we want to take advantage of this. Protein has a very high thermic effect of food. What this means is it takes more energy to digest it, simply by eating it, than a lot of other foods. So we want to take a look at our protein. Are we eating enough protein? You might want to bump it up a little bit. That's going to give you an extra calorie burn because it takes more energy to break it down. So it's kind of like a little cheat code, if you will. Another thing we want to look at is how much water are you drinking a day? Are you getting enough? You want to aim for 3 to 4 liters a day. Having enough water this way can increase the rate at which your body burns calories by up to 25%. So you notice these are not extreme things that we're doing. These are just little tweaks so that you keep going consistently, but it's going to potentially help you to break through that plateau unless the second thing we kind of want to look at here, and this is something I recommend to a lot of my clients. It's not something you have to do forever, but it is especially effective for getting through a weight loss plateau. And here's what it is. Every day, well, for 3 to 5 days, I recommend writing down, whether it's on a piece of paper or a note in your phone, something that you have with you, everything you're eating and drinking at the time you're doing it. That's the important part. I will have clients come back to me and they will do it at the end of the day. It's not going to be as effective this way, and I'm going to tell you why. Our memory is not going to serve us. This is bringing attention to mindless eating is what it's doing. Once we get comfortable within a plan for a while, we may think we're doing everything the same. We really, really genuinely think that. But when you bring mindfulness to it, a lot of times we've gotten so comfortable that we might be picking at food through the day that we weren't aware of. Maybe we're picking something off of someone else's plate. Maybe you have kids and you're picking at your kids' food. Maybe you're adding a little something extra to your meals because you're not being as mindful because you got so comfortable with it. So all we're doing with this method is just bringing awareness to it. And so by doing this at the end of the day, it is not going to be as effective. Our memory is not going to serve us well. I promise you, I have been through this with so many people. You have to do it as you're eating or drinking that thing as you go throughout the day. That's the part that makes it effective. Does that make sense? So we want to track everything as we're going through the day for 3 to 5 days at the time as you're doing it, number one. The other thing is to break through that plateau. We can do minor adjustments that are going to trick your body a little bit. It's going to bump it up to go back into fat burning mode. These can be little simple things. Little tweaks is all it needs to take. And one of those can be making sure you have enough water, bumping up your protein intake a little bit. Or maybe you want to add a carb, like a fibrous carb you don't normally have into your day 1 or 2 days here and there. And that's going to shock your body a little bit to go into fat burning mode again. So those are the couple of the things. Now, another thing that is very, very important, and this is going to help you break out of a cycle of yo-yo dieting, and this is often overlooked, and this is crucial. When you hit a weight loss plateau, what is common and what a lot of women will do is think, this diet doesn't work for me anymore. What's the point of doing it? It's not working anymore. And inevitably, they will then resort back, maybe right away, or maybe they'll slip back into old habits, but they will slip back into doing what they were doing before. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to rebound. You're going to gain the weight back, and chances are high that you'll gain even more. Here is the thing. Understanding that a weight loss plateau is very common. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong necessarily with what you're doing, but recognizing that this can be part of the process. Now we bring in the key piece to long-term success, and that is the mindset. And I think people often believe it's just a strategy, and if I just follow this strategy, yes, if you have the right strategy, it works, but inevitably you will come up against something like a plateau. What do you do in that instance? This is where mindset comes into play. This is where you recognize, if I just follow the steps laid out every day, if I'm mindful, if I am doing them as laid out for me, and they are the proper steps, if I keep going, I will break through that plateau. When you break through that plateau, weight loss starts again. And this is when you get to the other side. You get to your goal weight, and then you're able to stay there and maintain there because you have the mindset. You don't have an all or nothing mindset. You have a consistency mindset. Consistency over intensity will win every single time. So you have to have faith and belief it's going to work. Now, with that, you want to know that you're doing the right things. You don't want to be throwing, spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. You first got to know that you're doing the right things. And when that happens, what I often recommend is don't look at the end. If your goal was to lose 40 pounds, so let's say you are 180 pounds starting weight and you want to get down to 140. When you hit a plateau, this is where our mind plays tricks with us. When you hit a plateau, let's say you hit your plateau at 160, you're halfway there. You're not losing weight anymore. You get frustrated. You think it's not working. Oh my gosh, I still have 20 pounds to go. This is where women throw in the towel. This is where emotional eating comes into play. This is when you say to yourself, I'll start fresh on Monday. Don't do that. Instead of focusing on, oh my gosh, I'm only halfway there. Oh my gosh, I still have 20 pounds to go. Oh my gosh, that seems so far away. Instead, you want to say, nope, what got me here, as long as you're following the right strategy that's healthy and not extreme, you do the things that we already talked about to get through that plateau, and then you want to continue to focus on the daily habits. You know your goal. Your goal is 20 more pounds. You know that. It's tucked away in the back of your mind. Write it down somewhere. Don't focus on that because it's going to seem overwhelming, and that's when people throw in the towel. Just focus on the daily habits that are going to get you there. Now, they're not always exciting. It's not always shiny and fun. But if your goal is important enough to you, it really comes down to doing simple, boring things every single day. What's not boring is living confidently and comfortably in a body that you love. Now, we talked today about how to get through a weight loss plateau. I hope that was helpful to you. Now, if you want to go one step further and get my top 3 strategies of how to lose the weight in perimenopause and menopause, then I invite you to take a look at my bio in the show notes. You can reach out to me there, or you can even download for free my top 3 strategies for weight loss in perimenopause and menopause. I do hope that was helpful to you, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. See you next time. Bye.